This is Brand Builders. We've been actively working in D2C land for years and are continuing to be in the trenches daily. I'm Matt Lady, one of the co-hosts. Each week I have an episode with Tom Brown and an episode with Richie Mashiko. Sometimes we'll have one together. We are here to share our unfiltered, candid, casual perspectives, insights, lessons, experiences on building a D2C brand. We text about this stuff all the time and are super nerds about all things e-commerce, and we just want to share this with you and hope you get something from it. Enjoy the show. All right, so today's episode, I'm joined here with Richard Mashiko, and we're talking about missed opportunities, potential growth options, things we should have done, shouldn't have done, weren't aware of. And so Richie's going to go first. He's going to start us off about how he's feeling after some recent events.
Bro, I feel like I got roasted and toasted. No, I'm just kidding. Roasted and toasted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so context. I went to a dinner last night in LA. It was like a little e-com dinner. It's pretty cool. It was hosted by Chase Diamond and Nick Shackelford, their agency with Clavio, and it was just like little Q4 BFCM ecom dinner. It was pretty cool. There's about 25-ish people there.
Okay.
A lot of different brands, people from the brand side, service side. Some doing, like low 7 figures, some doing like almost 9 figures. So it was like really cool to hear what everyone's up to. And it just kind of got me thinking about, some of the discussion we had, like if Birdie or like, if we want to get to the next level, it's just like you can't be doing the same thing. And I feel like I've kind of become a little over I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but like very bought into this idea of more distribution channels, right? More distribution channels as a lever of growth as opposed to more marketing channels. And I don't necessarily think that's I don't necessarily think that's like the worst strategy still. I would actually probably continue to do that, right? Because the more distribution channels that you have, I think generally the more ROI your marketing has, right? Just like super concrete example is you spend money on Facebook, and if you're set up on Amazon, there's going to be a percentage of people who spill over from the Facebook funnel, paid social funnel to the Amazon funnel. So, right, you're just like collecting like customers that you wouldn't have, that you spent money to get your ad in front of that you wouldn't have otherwise collected. So I actually feel not the worst about setting the business up like that, because it has been, a big lever for growth. But I think, at least from like a mentality perspective, and there's just from like a pure mentality perspective, not like even from like a super tactical or like strategic perspective. But I really think in order to grow from, to get to like the next level of growth, for us, it's going to be about being like aggressive, right? And testing things and being okay with losing money and like being like, not losing money in the long run, just like on the test. Just for clarity, we're not going to lose money. Hello, my name is Mr. Krabs and I like money. So,
I like money.
I like money. So, yeah, and I think the thing that stood out to me about these brands that do, $50-100 million in revenue is that they're very like aggressive at trying different things to keep getting incremental revenue, trying different tactics. So one guy I talked to, they have a clothing brand that does, mid 8 figures, which is pretty big. And he said their number one channel was direct mail. And the lesson I learned there was that from his perspective, like even the creative of like the catalog doesn't really matter that much. The thing that matters, that he thought made the biggest difference, was the quality of the list, right? And how do you get a good list quality? You work with like data brokers. So like just being really like scrappy and creative about how you get in front of like the right audiences, especially as like the social platforms and like the digital ad ecosystem in general does not as good of a job at finding customers efficiently like they used to. Just figuring out how to do that. Um, and
Or just to jump in real quick, or
yep,
like the social channels, like you're scaling, you get to a certain point of very low return. You're kind of tapping out almost. And so
right,
you're looking to another new marketing channel like direct mail. We're starting from zero, and so there's that initial low hanging fruit and leverage to get, and then that starts to cross pollinate with Facebook, Shopify, Amazon again. So yeah, just want to jump in and say that.
right, exactly. Um, and I think the interesting thing about like just being at the dinner was that like a lot of these people aren't like necessarily on like the Twitterverse, right? Who are doing all that revenue except for Sean, the boy Sean. We love Sean.
Ridge Wallet.
Rich
Oh,
Wallet,
the
shout out
Ridge now,
Rich.
because they have wallets, they got watches, they have rings now.
Shout out Ridge, shout out Ridge. Um, Another interesting channel that I learned about that could be really effective, I think, is affiliate, and not like affiliate in the way of like, oh, like go find like an influencer with like 10K followers and like give them like a link and a discount code and that shit will convert. You know what I mean?
Not that,
Like,
yeah, not that way.
no,
Okay.
no. And I think we tested like podcasts in 2021 as a channel. We did like maybe like a $200,000 test. Um, and we do influencers, just like gifting, product seeding. But the the hard thing about those channels, right, is like how do you get scale? Um, because it's not like Facebook where like everything's managed in one platform. It's like you have to manage the relationship with each of uh the creators or the podcasts or the influencers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what it sounds like with affiliate, the affiliate that these guys are talking about, we're more along the lines of working with like large publishers, like big influencers, and doing it on like a per performance basis. Setting a CPA, and those theoretically those um, uh, online properties, have way more scale, right? So theoretically, it's maybe instead of managing like 1,000 relationships, you're managing like 100 or 10 or whatever. I don't know.
Mm.
We didn't get like that deep
Yeah,
into it. But I think for us in
but
21 or
small.
20 Q1, this will be the next channel that we test for sure.
Yeah, so it's less lower quantity, uh, but higher quality of partners. So, like you said, not 1,000, not 10,000 different influencers, little creators. There's a time and place for that, but I guess like especially knowing the makeup of your team, Richie, or
Hmm.
maybe the lack of your team, just it not being a very big team, you kind of need to look for those leverage points. So
Right.
uh, looking for the big swings, as you say. So okay, so you learned maybe more about direct mail and affiliate at this dinner. You're talking to people, and then what did it make you realize? And you're saying you're feeling comfortable. You kind of got this way of thinking. So like, what did
Yeah,
all
I
this
bought
lead
into
to?
my own bullshit. That hey, but I still think to a point it's true though. Um, and what I think is true is like really understanding the fundamentals of the business, right? I think maybe some of the disconnect is like um where I really don't agree with this like thinking is um for, like thinking fixing your ad account is going to solve your business problems. I just don't think
Yeah.
that's the case. You know what I mean? Like uh when you're hoping for uh, like if you're like relying on like a 95th percentile outcome in your ad account, like over the long run, I don't think that really works, right? Um, Over time, and especially if you want to scale, like to me, that just seems like something that like a ride that you don't want to get on. You know what I mean? Um, but I think you could test incrementally and keep being aggressive and take shots on goal. And if one or two works, then you just ride it. You know what I mean? Then you kind of push the pedal to the metal. It's like what we did at the beginning. It's like once you see the opening and once you see like you're winning, like this is like basketball. You watch the Dubs, like okay, you're up by like 10. Okay, let's go on like a 15-0 run and just like end the game right now. You know what I mean? Like just foot on the neck, pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the realization. Like, yeah, fundamentally, I think we've done like the 80%, but now it's like time to unlock like this last 20% and not pretend that like it doesn't exist or it's not possible.
Okay.
But I wouldn't
Yeah.
like I would still like at the beginning focus on like fundamentals, and make sure that the business is set up for success before like relying on figuring
Tactics.
out these tactics. But
Yeah.
once you have the foundation set up, then go ham and
Okay.
don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Okay.
Don't be
So you
complacent.
see, complacent. That's a good word. Yeah. So you've kind of just been like, cool, this is working. This is figured out. We get our solid returns here. We know what to expect. We just stay at
Right.
this. We could just stay at this pace, and it's sustainable. It's stable-ish. You're not going for 4x or 5x on Facebook and like forcing your media buyers and creative people to just like crank out 20 ads a day and just look for that arbitrage every day and day trade. Like you're not
Mm-mm.
doing that. Like some people are. Because you set up the business to be able to win at much lower MER or lower ROAS,
Yep.
um, in the 1.8 to 2.5 range. So that's much more achievable at scale versus trying to get to spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month at 4 or 5x for your kind of product. So
Very hard.
very hard. So you got the fundamentals down. You feel like you've been complacent. So you kind of alluded to it earlier about affiliate being the next kind of big channel that you kind of want to tackle in Q1 of 2023. Um, what made you pick affiliate versus all these other ones you kind of mentioned or talked about, or we've even like alluded to in the past on past episodes?
Yeah, I think for me, affiliate just feels like there's a lot of scale there, um, that has potential, and I like the idea of like the paper for performance model. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say like I know exactly how these deals work. It's very well they could be like, okay, you're going to do a flat fee and like a fixed CPA. But it just seems pretty evident that a lot of these like mid eight figure, 9 figure brands, like a lot of them have used like affiliate as a channel.
Hmm.
Um, and to me that's just kind of why I think it makes the most sense. I think it's like a low risk, high upside, can have potential asymmetric returns, and
Yeah,
have like Facebook scale, which would be bonkers.
that would be. Okay, so that's affiliate, and you'll figure out more details about that later. And keep us updated as that goes next year.
Hmm.
Um, so then, are you looking ahead? We talked about 2023 Stumptown last episode with me. Kind of talked through that plan. Are you starting to think ahead about next year, or are you still in the thick of things for Black Friday?
Yeah, no, I was thinking a little bit ahead to next year. Um, I think the big thing for us next year is going to be really figuring out acquisition for Birdie Plus. I know we've started to crack that, but allocate more resources, more of the fundamentals, right? More landers, different ads, offers, creative. The thing that I learned there, what's really complicated is like there's a lot of a lot of stakeholders in the product. So what I mean by that is, for Birdie, before I could just go in and like change an offer, like, hey, we're gonna do like 20% off or 15% off or 30%, whatever the offer was, and you just go into Shopify. You could either make a discount code or just have the homie Shane make a script real quick, and that'll automatically discount, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing with offer testing for Birdie Plus is that there's it's just not that simple where you could just go in and like click buttons or write like a simple script. Um, so I have to take into consideration like needs from finance, needs from a technology perspective, and not just like Shane, who's our amazing like Shopify guy, but we've built like a native or like our own system, um, a developer like architecture system, whatever, that manages the app and manages those subscriptions and licenses, right? So there's just a lot more involved, and then also from like a
Yeah.
financial perspective, um, this thing that I learned about. I don't know if you guys want to hear about it, but I'm going to talk about it. It's this thing
Yeah.
called uh, 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 let me back up. So in finance and accounting, there's these things called this thing like GAAP principles, and GAAP is like generally accepted accounting principles, right? So from what I understand, what I've been learning from like our accountant is like, obviously like when you do the books, you have to follow these GAAP principles. And subscription has become a very popular business model over like the past 10 years, right? Think of like Netflix, like all the digital publications, like everyone's trying to do subscription, right?
Yep.
SaaS tools. um, there are these, there's this part of the code, it's called ASC 606, and ASC 606 is revenue recognition. So I don't want to get too much into the details because I'm going to butcher it, but the high level is like, if we like do an annual subscription, right? Um, and we charge that like say 60 days, 30 to 60 days after the first purchase, depending on the offer that we're running. Um, so they might get like a 13 or 14-month subscription. So how do you essentially divide up that annual subscription cash that you collect all at one time, but technically it's like divided among those X amount of months, right? In order to follow this ASC 606 part of this code. So we've had to uh, use the software, or we're onboarding the software, implementing the software. It's called ChargeBee. Uh, and if anyone needs RevRec software, like definitely talk to ChargeBee. We've talked to many of them over the past like 6 months and couldn't find them. We couldn't find a solution, but thankfully we're moving forward with ChargeBee. Um, so it just kind of goes back to the point of, it's like very complicated. So there's a lot of stakeholders. Oh, and then customer service, like they need to be informed on everything, all the offers that are running, which customers have which offers depending on the date they were purchased or the landing page. So
Right.
it's like kind of growing exponentially, right? Um, so not only figuring out acquisition for Birdie Plus next year is going to be important, but making sure this like infrastructure of processes are set in place is going to be important. And then we are also uh, testing Birdie Plus on on more of like a business to business scale, not just like single consumer. So we have a couple of
Right.
people and a couple groups in like private beta right now. So I think looking forward to 2023, right? Affiliate, more Birdie Plus resources, um, um, and B2B, and then maybe in Q3, Q4, direct mail, um, other other channels. Just test other channels. So
Sweet.
you know,
Uh, would you consider doing podcast again, or that? I know that's something you'd mentioned after the dinner again, but
Yeah, I don't know about podcasts. Um, yeah, I don't know. The hard thing was like CPAs were really um or CPMs are really high. So just for the AOV, it's a little hard to
right.
make the AOV work with or the CPA work since the CPMs are so high and we don't necessarily have a huge AOV. I think it might make sense maybe later in the year or in 24 once we start getting more renewal data so we could understand churn and then we
Yep.
can model out CPAs, maybe not even on like a 365 day LTV basis, but like on, like a 2 year LTV basis, right? And even if that's not a huge part of the budget, you're still getting adding some incremental revenue from that
Yeah.
channel.
Cool. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Plus, is higher AOV and would maybe lend that way easier. And like host is like, oh, I've been using Birdie, like literally just get them signed up and like get them
Right.
the product, get them the app, and like, oh yeah, I've been using it for a while, and like literally have them show the app or something. It's a video podcast too, so yeah, there's more to do than just the Birdie. I think they can play like they can sound the alarm like that might be a
Right.
little loud, but that definitely be an attention grabber.
Right.
um
I
but
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think it could be an interesting channel. And the other thing that I want to mention too, like, we always look like where we're going or where we want to be as people, as humans in general. So it's easy to like say, oh, like look at what you're doing wrong, or like what you could be doing, or your opportunities. But it was also cool to be able to talk to people who are like earlier on. You know what I mean? And listen to like what their challenges are. You know. So one homie that was sitting next to me, we were talking about his brand, and he was asking me about like creative and like uh, testing and like what works, how to get the ad account right. Um, and I just kind of iterated like this very core belief that I have that like um, uh, the more integrated like finance and marketing are, especially in like e-commerce, where marketing is so performance driven, where it's like a lot of data and numbers, is as much, if not more, data and numbers than it is like actual creativity. um, to really understand like the his business, their business's business model. Um, to really understand, okay, what CPAs do we need? Maybe you're without knowing that there's a possibility where you're capping yourself artificially at some ROAS threshold, that you could actually spend more, be less efficient on the first purchase,
Mhm.
but understand. And his is a consumable product, so that's why I think it's important to understand for a little bit more context, um, to really understand like customer LTV, so that you could actually like model what CPAs you need, right? And then it's also cool once you have like a business that could have potential retention built in, because then it not only become an acquisition problem or acquisition opportunities, there's retention that you need to take care of, right?
Yep.
So no, that's it
That's
was it,
cool.
that's it's cool.
Hey there, just wanted to take a second and tell you about my other show, Ecommerce Uncovered. Twice a week, I have guest experts, enthusiasts, and operators on to share me something about their expertise and their knowledge about e-commerce, building a D2C brand. We've had episodes on with financial experts, operations, marketing, acquisition, retention, customer experience, all wide variety of things. That's twice a week. I'm the host. I ask them questions. They share awesome answers and insights and lessons and stories. That's e-commerce uncovered wherever you find your podcasts, and it's on the High Key Geek YouTube. That's e-commerce uncovered. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah. So you're able to learn it from the people ahead of you, But now you're like, oh shit, I can actually like talk to someone behind me and actually give some advice and perspective, and you totally like you better understand where they're coming from now that you've already been through that, you know. So
Right.
pretty
Right.
neat. So you that's a little bit about 2023, but Birdie started their holiday Black Friday whatever winter sale, uh, and so you wanted to whatever you guys call it, you wanted to like give us a little update on how that's going, and if you needed to change anything or early insights at all would be cool because some people
Yeah.
haven't even started Black Friday yet. So
Yeah. So for context again, we just recap real quick. We launch early. And part of the theory is that our business is so acquisition based that we really rely on getting new customers. Um, so the longer we have ads running, the more they'll be optimized. Theoretically, you're having a little bit lower CPMs now than launching like Black Friday. There's data behind it. We're scaling what works. We're killing what's not working. Um, so that's why we launch early. So we launch on the first of the month. We'll probably keep it going until sometime next month. Um, yeah, the first
hell
couple
yeah.
days they were lower than last year. Um, Last year, the first day we launched, we did it looks like no, actually, yeah, a little less. 39,000 on Shopify, and sorry, I'm looking at the numbers here. 50,000. Second day this year, we did 37 and 36,000. So we were down those first couple of days. But we really started to pick it up, started to scale ad spend. We also came into the holiday spending a little bit less than we had last year. So I think it's also taking us some time to ramp up our spend, especially like evergreen ads. I know, Matt, you have like feelings on like not killing evergreen ads during like these types of sales.
Yeah,
Um,
no, keep those going. A lot of the time, those will still outperform your banner ads that are 20% off, 30% off, Black Friday sale. It's like, yeah, we fucking like people know that there's a sale. Like, that's the time of the year, right? Like, sometimes those just don't do as well. They're, you know, whatever. Keep the evergreen on, at least
keep
some of them.
keep evergreen on. That's the lesson. Um, and then I'm looking at so actually we're up year over year, just by like $20,000. So like 360 versus like 340, which is cool. Um, and then Amazon we're up, like 70% year over year. And that's just
Wow.
because the way the channel's been. We're Amazon. Amazon is the reason why we're gonna grow this year. Amazon is the main reason why we're growing this year. That's been an amazing channel. Um, I cannot speak, I'm biased because it's such a good part of our business. But if you need an Amazon guy, let me know. I got a good one.
Shut up, Mark.
Shout out Mark. Shout out Mark. Um, I've just been really like blown away with like how Amazon is doing this year. Like, holy shit, we did $1.1 million in Amazon last month in the month of October. In the month of
Was that
September, we did
that was Prime?
one point Prime Day. In September,
Yeah.
we did 1.1 million.
Oh
In
shit.
in August, we did 800,000. And year over year, August last year we did. In August last year, we did a little over 300,000. In September, we did 200,000. In October last year, we did around 250.
Wow. So it's like absolutely insanely like 2 to 3 times higher each month.
Yeah, and there's like reasons, like we ran out of stock inventory
Mm.
in end of August last year in September, so that's why sales were down. But still, to get to the numbers that we have here, like I'm pretty stoked. So, I projected we might do 1.5 million on Amazon. I don't know if we're gonna get there. It's not what pacing looks like, but again, you know how Black Friday, you know how like the month of November goes, right? Like the first 2 weeks of the month is like it just doesn't. I don't think it starts ramping up. I don't know. What do you think? Like, I just don't think shit starts ramping up until like the middle of the month. Or am I just like coaxing myself? Like,
No,
sugarcoating
I
myself?
mean, generally speaking, I think that's mostly right. I think it's yeah, you can have your sales earlier, and I'm seeing some of these sales, and I'm like, cool, that's cool. I would want to buy that, but I'm just not in a buying mood right now. I'm gonna buy like I put off all my sales and purchases for myself or gifts for other people later until later. I'm not buying right now.
Right.
So like you can do it all you want, but for some people they're just not going to buy yet. So it's
And,
yeah.
and for us, the other thing though, when we did launch the sale this year, um, we we launched the first, right? So in 2020, the little amount of data that I do have, that first week we didn't launch, um, but so our numbers were like half of what they are now.
Right.
So it's like you will get some lift when you will launch early, I think, or you have the potential to get lift, but I don't think you get that fucking wave. You know what I mean? That wave that you
Yeah.
just want to ride
You
on
don't.
until like later in the month.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think if you don't do this already, like something that I mean we've done it this year, which I think has been really helpful. But in the month of November and December, really plan out your ad spend. Um, not saying like, oh, we're gonna spend like this amount of money every day or this allocated dollars no matter what, come like hell or high water. Like, have some sort of pacing and be cognizant of the ads and how much you're spending. Um, I don't know if I could make a quick copy of this and send it to you, Matt, but um, understand that like the revenue is going to go like this. It's going to go up.
Yeah.
Those weekends, it might come down a little bit for like those first couple weeks of December, then it's going to go down again. Depending
Yep.
on your category, though. If you're like health, like that might be January. It might be it's probably your best time of the year, right? So just be on top of everything. That's all I could say.
Cool, man. Yeah. No, thanks for the update. It's neat to hear, and it's been cool to not have you freak out as much this year for Black Friday compared to 2020, especially,
2020 was a roller coaster.
and even less last year, and then even less this year. So it's I'm glad you guys are doing pretty good so far, and I hope that continues.
No, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up with a few extra little things we've been finding and talking about these lesser known apps and tools that aren't the same five apps that or tools that are mentioned by everyone all the time because they're the number one choice, and it's like a very obvious thing like Klaviyo for email. Yeah, there are other platforms for email for e-commerce, but almost everyone uses Klaviyo. So we're not going to go like over that. We're
No, use
going
Mailchimp, man.
over.
No, just
No, don't no fake news for the listeners.
kidding.
um, so we're going to go over like other alternative platforms for like slightly different use cases, or just lesser known stuff. So I'll start with this. This is brand new. It's not brand new, but it's very new to me. That I saw Aaron Orndorff, former Common Thread Collective homie. He had left the CTC a little while ago, and then he just announced literally today, he was head of marketing at Recart. It's a SMS platform. So it's not like post, it is like they do send they store your list, you do the flows, you do the campaigns,
just like a PostScript or Attentive or Klaviyo SMS, right? But as far as I'm understanding, if I'm understanding this correctly, they also literally just do it for you. They literally just run your email for you or your SMS for
SMS.
you. Yeah, they run your SMS for you. So they have like this transparent SMS pricing calculator. So I'm on their site. I'm putting in 0. We have 0 existing SMS subscribers, right? Monthly mobile traffic is around 5,000, right? Cool.
Uh-huh.
And then initial monthly commitments, 12 months. Sure, let's just do it the year. Like that's for a year. Their starter plan has to be at $299 a month. So just $299 to fully manage and set up and build and report and on pop-ups, flows, and campaigns. It's hands off. I don't have to do anything. It's
That's crazy.
$299 a month. And that scales into like a pretty decent amount, it seems like. Let's see if I get to like 10,000 subscribers and see. Then it goes up to $499 a month. Okay, but like that's 10,000 subscribers. So Recart plan comes with an 8x ROI guarantee. So if you do not get an 8x ROI, they will refund your money for that month.
Wow.
And so their average ROI is 36.8x on average, which is like an absurd number. But they don't do any view through attribution and not a 30-day click. No view through, 0. And they don't do a 30-day click. They do a 7-day click or SMS specific discount code. So it's like it's much more like it's supposed to be much more accurate versus just taking credit for other stuff you're doing. So, and then fully managed done for you growth. So it's like, cool. I sign up, I give them the access, I tell them about the business and the products, and then someone just like does it for me. That's my understanding of this. I'm gonna have to talk to Aaron some more or like book a demo because I don't want to do SMS for Stumptown like for me right now. But if I could just take $299 of ad spend away and have someone else do it and guarantee an 8x ROI, I have to sell 2 mattresses the whole month, right? Out of 5,000 mobile traffic, 2 mattresses have to come from SMS.
Absolutely incredible.
That's like, is this too good to be true? Are you like? Do you think I'm understanding this properly? Are you looking at it like?
I'm looking at it. I mean, talk to Aaron.
Yeah, it sounds a little too good to be true.
It does sound a little too good to be true, but if it's true, then damn.
Yeah. So that's my first one I wanted to talk about.
That is crazy.
That would be really helpful for founders that are already stretched thin. And oh yeah, I keep hearing about SMS. How do I start? Where do I start?
Right.
I'm starting from 0. Just $299. Usually, you're gonna have to pay a freelancer, especially like email. They charge $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for email services, but on SMS, like sometimes that's included, sometimes that's separate.
Well, then the price of SMS is a lot more expensive than email.
That's correct.
It's a lot more expensive.
For the most part, yeah.
Right.
So, but if you could get that 8x ROI guarantee or average of 36x, like,
or your mattress is free.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Guarantee.
So it's pretty interesting, man. So I want to check out that some more. So Recart, that's RECART.com. Not sponsored, not affiliated, not advisory.
Yeah, none of these are sponsored.
None of this, yeah. Well, we will tell you when they're sponsored, yeah.
So no investments, unfortunately.
No investments on these ones, no, yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so back to you. I think you have one you want to talk about.
Okay, this is one I learned about last night. It's called retention.com. So, from my understanding, and I'm booking a demo, and hopefully we'll test this out, is what retention.com does is it basically takes the traffic that goes to your site, is able to identify maybe 30 to 40% of those people who visit your site and their email address, and then you're able to send those people who visited your site but may have not necessarily purchased or put their email in the email pop-up, right? Those that everyone has.
Mhm.
And then you're able to send email flows and campaigns to these people on the list that you don't even have that haven't even submitted. It's crazy.
Okay.
I thought it was low-key illegal.
That sounds like it.
It sounds low-key illegal. I was like, holy shit. But what I learned is that, well, they really only operate in the United States. So if you're listening outside the United States, sorry. He said that in America, the law is you need to give someone an opt-out option. So you have to have the unsubscribe link in the email. And they don't necessarily need to have to opt in, which is insane.
Oh, so that's how we get around that. Is
Right.
you just give them the unsubscribe link, or
Yeah,
or just risk getting put into spam, I guess.
well, and then the other thing,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to like necessarily get put into spam. So, basically, from what I understand, you set up basically a welcome flow, like a different welcome flow, and say, hey, you might change the copy around a little bit to speak to these types of customers. Like, we noticed you're browsing, blah blah blah, and then the guy one of the people that I talked to, basically said, yeah, in that first email in the welcome flow, we have a big button that says, hey, if you're not interested in receiving any more of these emails, just click unsubscribe, just so that you keep the list as clean as possible.
I see.
And he's seen good results, about 6x return on that. So could be crazy.
Wow.
Sounds
There's
illegal, but
yeah,
we'll see.
there's a customer quote on one of the pages I'm looking at. We literally 10x'd our list. I'm not joking. 10x'd.
Wait, who said
And
that?
Julia Linker, Senior Director CRM of Tonal. I believe Tonal is one of those fitness.
It's like the
gyms,
big fitness
home gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart
What
home.
page
it's a
is that
gym.
on?
Just on the homepage, halfway down. I'm just reading through the page while you were chit-chatting about it. And I'm like, okay, well, if Tonal's using it and they 10x their email revenue from the YouTube title, I don't know if that's they 10x the revenue or 10x their subscribers. Either way, if you're at Tonal's size and scale, because they're backed and they've been spending a ton of money and been growing, 10x is not significant. And the pricing on this seems insane. You start there's two plans. There's starter at incremental revenue of 5 to 10K a month, and you only pay them $500 a month. So you basic for the reclaim
10x, 10 to 20x.
Yeah, which is browse and cart pricing. And then reactivate pricing is up to 1 million records a month, whatever the fuck that means. It's $500 a month. And then everything else above that's enterprise. So it's they have an easy implementation, 60-day pilot period, and then they'll help you figure it out. They'll onboard you and stuff. So it just retention.com, it's such a it seems like a way too good to be true sort of thing.
These all seem way too good to be true. Oh, I know this guy Ryan Pamplin from Blendjet.
Mm-hmm.
You see that on the homepage?
Yeah.
So I know about their business, and if he's using it too.
Retention.com is money falling from the sky. is what he said. So, man, that's pretty interesting to check out. So that's retention.com. All right. Next one. We kind of already mentioned this on a past episode. when I've been talking about Stumptown. I won't go too into depth with it, but it's called Slippy, and the website is slippy.io, and it's essentially Klaviyo for your personalized print inserts while you pick and pack. So you can you get the order, and usually everyone just gets the standard standard ass e-commerce printed out order confirmation, order like number, what's in your order, and they just print out the receipt and they put it in there. But with Slippy, it personalizes it, and it's custom to what your exact order, obviously like every other receipt, but you can make it look not like a white and black boring piece of paper and just like the standard thing. You can it almost combines like the insert with the packing slip and makes it like a little postcard, almost makes you stand out. And you can use QR codes. You can customize it by product and bundles and offers, and there's templates, and it automatically prints while the order's coming in. So it's you can kind of integrate it into your normal fulfillment process. So it seems pretty interesting to me. Obviously, I haven't used it quite yet, but they enriching and optimizing the customer unboxing experience, increased retention by 14%, lifetime value by 24%. Like, those numbers are not zero.
They're not insignificant.
They're not insignificant, especially if you're at scale, but it helps you just stand out against other people. And literally free is 100 free prints per month. So then it's probably affordable. It doesn't really tell you. You have to contact sales and stuff. But at Stumptown, we get about 100 orders a month right now. So
there you go.
It's like free for us right now. So it could be interesting, kind of just stand out that way. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. And there's a flows section. So you can kind of like set up, depending on order number 1, order number 2, repeat customers, stuff like that. Depending on what products they buy, you can kind of get those prints automated and personalized versus like having to think about that every time an order comes in. So Slippy.io.
Bro, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's definitely just like I don't ever look at like the standard packing slips anymore. So like
Right.
This would definitely be something that I would look at. So just Slippy.io is that one. And then you you've been test running this app, and I believe it's live now. This next one.
Yeah, it's called Vigilance. You just had Dennis on the other pod, right?
I did. Yeah.
Saw those promo videos. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out Ecommerce Uncovered, baby.
Dennis.
Shout out.
Ecommerce Uncovered. Check out my other show.
Shout out. Yeah, so Dennis, I think what was the one that he had before Live Recover? Was like personalized, like abandoned cart SMS.
Yeah, that was Live Recover.
That was Live Recover. So he was making another one, another like SaaS business. This one's called Vigilance, and basically what it does, and this is really helpful for us. So essentially, people are browsing, or checking you out on desktop or on your site. And know too much how it works on mobile, but a lot of people have this piece of shit software called Honey installed as a Chrome extension, right? And basically what this piece of shit software does is that it has like a list of promo codes, right? And basically it says, hey, click this button to like use this promo code, right? And it's like a discount, right? It's like a discount code that your store may be active, on your store, but you may not be advertising. People get discount codes in different ways. Um, so what Vigilance does, it's when people like use honey or have these like automatic code injections, they stop the code injection from happening. So we just launched this like I would say about a week ago, a little less than a week ago, and Dennis DM. He said we blocked 215 injections so far for you guys. So
Wow.
for us, let's do some quick math.
Quick public math.
Quick public math. So I'm going to say it's about a 15% discount they're probably getting. And then a lot of these for us, why it's also important is because we give ambassador commission based
Yeah.
on these
So
discount codes.
double whammy.
Double whammy. So saving 25% per order. AOV is $60. Save $3,200 in 7 days. And,
Wow.
you know, that could add up over time to the bottom line.
Yeah, dude, that's just for right now. If you just extrapolate that out to a month, that's like $12,000.
Right, that's $12,000 in cash. So,
Yeah. Wow. And so, like, and obviously, you're not paying Dennis and Vigilance
not yet.
$3,200. Yeah.
They're in private beta right now.
Oh, okay.
But you said I think they're going to be on the App Store soon.
Okay.
Fucking
And I
should've gone to
imagine
this
it's like
round.
it's probably something like, "Yo, we saved you this much. We're taking X percentage, X cut of it that we saved you."
Right.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Imagine.
Probably.
I haven't even
there's
talked
like
to him about that, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would imagine that's how that's gonna work. Because there's this other one that I just thought of or remembered of. It's like it's something to do with chargebacks, right? Like people with fraud, or like just trying to force a refund. And so they'll like automate like it's like Disputifier or something. So they'll only take 20% of what they were gonna give away, right? So if the dispute is successful, pay as you go is 18% of recovered revenue. If you do an annual plan, it's 9% of recovered revenue. You only pay for chargebacks you win. So it's like a no-brainer almost. So that one's kind of interesting. It's similar to Vigilance, it seems like. So let Dennis know that Richie and I sent you if you want to go check that out.
Yeah,
and then
it could be interesting.
Yeah, that adds 12,000 a month, dude. That's like 140K a year, 144K a year if you average that out. So yeah, that's not like a significant amount. So I'll do the last one here called Drop Voice. I found this on Twitter just scrolling by. It's brand new. It's a post-purchase app, but it doesn't have to be. There's other ways to use it.
Voice notes.
It's essentially you can attach a voice note. It's about 15 to 30 second voice memo and attach it to a product. And so as soon as they buy it, or if they add it to cart or something, they can listen to the voice note and hear more about it versus just reading about it. And then once their product is delivered, an SMS will send out that day as soon as it's delivered with the voice note again. Oh,
shit.
So it's like if you want to make sure, like, thanks for like buying this. There's literally some examples here. Since you took the time to listen to this voice note, offer an exclusive discount code on your next purchase, or whatever, right? Or hey, this is how to use the product, or like here's the phone number, or like contact us, like text us back if you need any help, right? There's a couple of unique ways to like use this, and it's like $25 a month, I think. The winning plan, the starter plan is free. Just 3 voice notes, no texting. And then the winning plan is like 1 cent a text message.
for $25 a month. So pretty interesting, like unique, personalized, like not personalized, like for each customer, but it's by product. So if a product is different, you can kind of have different voice memos. So I thought it was pretty interesting, especially thinking about it for Stumptown with like, hey, like this is how you need to like unbox the mattress a certain way, right? Or like you need to let it sit for 6 hours before you set it up, or give you like wait 3 weeks before you try to refund it. Like give it some time, right? Just those little reminders that are you set up once and it's very little money and could really like potentially lower the cost of returns or bad experiences or bad reviews. Like lower refund rate, if even by 10% or 5%, like $25 is worth it. So drop voice. So that's on the App Store. No reviews. I messaged the founder about it, and he said he can give me an extended free trial if I want. So
Damn.
Might be something cool to check out.
You know what we should do?
Yeah, go ahead.
We should build like a little database of these like cool things that are like popping up, and then invest in them. Just kidding.
No, it's not the worst idea. No, but actually,
at least build a database. At least build a database of them. It's just pretty amazing, like all the new shit that's coming out. And I think like, sometimes people are like, there's like a balance of like shiny objects, right, versus being like static and complacent. So I think it's hard to stay on top of all this new shit that's like coming out.
Yeah, I think so. And it's shiny object syndrome is real, but some of these are, as long as you have your expectations right and you think about it enough, and you set your voice note up, and it just goes. Like it's not like this ongoing Facebook campaign you have to optimize. Like even if you do it at a baseline level, if you do Slippy, if you do Vigilance, if you do the Disputifier, the Slippy, I think I said that already, but like you set these things up, and it's like it just adds adds like some additional revenue, or lowers like the return rate, or lowers the dissatisfaction. It's new, it's a little surprise and delight. Potentially post about it. So I think these like things can be helpful. Just don't only rely on these little things. This is not like the game changers. These are not the fundamentals, but
no, definitely not the fundamentals.
Yeah,
I think it's like
cool,
for
man.
like brands that are like kind of figured that shit out and like incremental,
Yeah, you're trying to like
you're optimizing it around the edges.
Yeah,
it's like what I mean. It's like basically the comp is like, this isn't Steph, this isn't Clay, this isn't Dre. This is like fucking Iguodala off the like not like
bench
2016
player,
Iguodala. This is like current Iguodala, who's like the coach, like the assistant coach, basically.
Yeah,
or like
you're a role player. You're not the main star. Like I don't think any of these will be the star of your store, but I think they will, that 5 to 10% incremental bump, and if you have a couple of those, they add up, and it scales pretty well. So I think that's it for me on the tools and the apps. Richie, anything else you want to say?
No, let's put the database together. I think it's cool.
Let's put the database together. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Catch you on the next one, and let us know if you enjoy these, or what you don't like, or what you want to hear. Happy to jam. So appreciate it. Peace. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I love being able to do this and meet with people that are smart and enthusiastic and just want to share what they have to know about all things D2C. Every rating and review and episode you share with a friend means a ton to me as I continue to bootstrap this show as part of my small little media brand, High Key Geek. If you haven't checked out my other show, Ecommerce Uncovered, you should. It's a little more tactical and practical, and I've guest experts on to learn from freelancers, agency owners, in-house marketers, and founders, all in an effort to help you continue to bootstrap your D2C brand profitably. 2 episodes a week will have you staying up to date on the ever-changing industry and learning fundamental concepts and tactics for you to apply to your own brand. That's Ecommerce Uncovered on the High Key Geek YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple, or anywhere else you find your podcasts. Catch you next time.